right now because there's a claw. Oh, what? Okay. Sure. Okay. Eve. But there's a claw, there's a Hardy, there's a Juice in. Your EXP doesn't really have a lot of crowd control. The Khalid really only has a Raging Sandstorm and his little slow when he kneels to the ground. So, but as expected, Twisted Minds read it perfectly. Zyda still ends up with an assassin.
Yeah, gets his assassin, and they're going to get their R-Lot here for Twisted. Pretty rounded lineups, I'd say, on both sides, but this could end up working for TNC here. Real quick, let you guys go ahead and scan that QR code right now. The super fans out there, scan the QR, get a chance to win 1,000 MLBB Diamonds by predicting the match winner. And you guys are here with us on Superfan Saturday, so you get 3 chances to win 1,000 MLBB Diamonds. And here's the prediction right now. It's heavily in favor of TNC, man. That is a massive favor for them. 76% right now against the Mines. We'll see if that all comes to place. Any last thoughts of the drafts here?
Well, one thing I'm going to be looking for is what kind of Khalid versus Juicin game are we going to get? One where it's maybe a little bit more leaning towards Khalid, or Juicin once again proving to a lot of Khalid players as to why if you were up against me, you'd rather not go up against me.
Which is why I'm partial to Twisted Minds lineup. Sure, Owl will suffer, Owl will struggle, but if you understand that going in, you can plan for it. And they have all the tools to execute that plan.
We'll see who gets the better start here as we jump into the Land of Dawn. It's going to be game 1 in this best of 3 to start off our day 2. We're going to wait a little bit longer. Great great flag out there, by the way.
Is that a Coach S on banner?
Are those California palm trees?
Are those California? Maybe they traveled all the way here.
Oh, they could be coconut trees, honestly.
Is that a banner featuring 3-time MPL champion S on it?
Oh, this huge 3-mar face, bro.
That's actually probably the bigger, one of the biggest ones we've seen.
Look at that glorious mullet.
Yeah.
It's the size of that woman's torso. Huge.
There's more in, so here we go.
Let's go.
Let's go ahead and get it started. First one, and we're just ready for Superfan Saturday. I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy to be here with us.
Yep.
Really good Mario impression, Renmar.
Yep.
That wasn't me. I did the Yoshi, though. I'll do that. So far, not really aggressive with the mid-trades. Kaloy just man-marking Zyda. Emblems Inspire, Wilderness Blessing. It's the Brave Smite on the Uranus.
All right. So 3-mar probably going to be playing the total. Whoa, already too early on. Aggression for that Lift Wander. I'm not sure if they're going to continue the pressure. They'll poke down a little bit. Chaknu is going to be fine too. This is kind of what we expect, especially with the Khalid in action. But always, you got to look at this because the same response is going to come from Kaloy.
It's actually like Khalid, Hildar, like same, but diff.
Yeah.
They deal an absurd amount of damage for early roamers. Fast rotations,
and they survive
a
huge amount of damage and then join the fight again.
Yeah,
they both heal in a different way. It's like
I think
Hilda's got to stand in grass and he's got to stand in sand.
Yeah.
So I wonder what that design was like when they decided to make those heroes.
So far TNC's been trying to disrupt MP the King's rotations, but it hasn't stopped him. He has a significant EXP gap, as Zyda still needs to get his first orange buff. Let's see if TNC will be able to make it for the first turtle, as Twisted Minds, all of the effort TNC put into trying to stop MP the King, actually somewhat delayed Zyda because he was forced to join in and see if he can poke down.
Yep, and that kind of follows through with bullying Owl, because they all follow through down here. Oh no!
Speaking
Owl
of,
gets a 2-man dogpile on him. Chaknu and Benny get pushed out.
Okay.
And just like that, Twisted Minds are still putting their heads on a swivel. They want to make sure, okay, is it safe to still engage in the turtle?
It is the rivers, and of course 3-mar decided to place himself a little bit deeper towards the side of Twisted Minds' jungle, and that is what stopped MP the King from continuing the turtle.
Is MP gonna fight? Chaknu and 3-mar asserting themselves. RWM by Lancey, swiping away. Zyda going at the turtle. Owl made it here, but look at Benny! Helping Zyda secure that turtle, and Benny's still wailing away. Already used that Valkyrie's Descent. Crimson Beacon by Sean, backing off. 3-mar on Lansu. Lansu wants 3. 3-mar flickers back. Shadow tail by Zyda. Drawing first blood.
Great fight there by TNC. And Zyda, good discipline to hold on to the shadow kill for as long as he could. Twisted Minds decided to collapse into the shrub to see if that would stop or deter TNC from continuing to fight. But it didn't, because they still had the Hayabusa ultimate.
Good luck typing that in chat.
I was going to say, just type Fruit Ninja every time you hear that.
How did that happen? These are the tools I'm talking about.
Yep.
If Twisted Minds choose to pick off, They can.
Yeah, I think he tried to disrupt MP the King, but didn't expect that there'd be 3 members. If it was only 2, he might have been able to get away, but it also could have been a little bit of overzealousness. He didn't have the flicker, and he's up against a Harley that was left undisturbed.
Yeah.
Even if it's a Uranus, hypothetically, if it was just Kaloy and MP the King, and Lansu was stuck in lane trying to clear waves, it still would hurt 3mar a lot.
Yeah, you'd be surprised at how much damage the Deadly Magic does this early on, especially against tankier heroes like Uranus. So good pickoff, and that's why MP is actually still up here, because he could potentially threaten 3mar.
Oh, final flash puts him into the range of Deadly Magics, but it's not the right combo. I think they need to have Sean in the area too.
Yeah.
Who's gonna get this gold crab? Ooh, miraculous last hit there for Owl using AOT.
So
Yeah,
that's the
smooth.
difference in the gold lane. Benny is on Owl, but Owl is eyes on the prize. I need to farm.
He's got to. That's what every Claude that enters the game has to do. They really have to focus on getting to that Trinity as fast as possible, and then they can really shine for the team. But you have all the tools you need to go ahead and provide early pressure with this Harley, for example. Owl's getting his DHS now, so he is farming up. You see that too, the boots that he went. He's got to deal with that because of the Benny Cutie Freya.
At this point, you'd want to be able to build one of your second item components, but he needs that defense. And considering the turtle spawns on his side, it's the right call because he needs to join this as well. He needs a little bit more damage output from him so that Twis and Minds has a chance to maybe get a punish, but getting the objective might be too hard.
It's all in on the turtle. TNC
MP.
are putting up a wall. Speaking of, there's the RWM. Zyda secures. They're holding on the ults though, and they're going to continue. They're going to force the issue deep into the purple. Going in with a Rampaging Sandstorm, Lansu on him, flicker, final slash, no one home! Down goes 3mar, that's enough damage! Vengeance, Shadow kill on the 4! Unable to distribute it as Lansu catches all of it! And a big slam by Sean! Down goes Betty! Zyda gets taken down by Owl, gets a double! Chaknu taken by MP! 4 for 1! Not worth it for the turtle.
That's the revisioning we were looking for last week, man. What a slam down through Sean. 4 assists now on the Jushin.
Carry Twisted Minds in the last fight by carrying the entirety of TNC Pro Team. That's why you have to watch out for this Jushin, especially when the Crimson Beacon is up and you're not careful. Zyda getting Lansu looked like it was a big win for them, but as they tried to continue the fight, Sean said, I still have a card up my sleeve, and it was the perfect time to let go of the Crimson Beacon. Zyda doesn't have a first full item yet, decides to rush for the Sky Piercer, does not have the Hunter Strike as his priority, because he's still getting kills, so he's trying to see if he can get stacks much quicker.
I don't know if that's a wise plan to do now.
Yeah, at this point you need a little bit more penetration as well, but there's not a lot of defense to deal with other than the Hilda, because even Lansu is going for Oracle second after building Fury Hammer, which I mean it's the typical build for Arlets anyway. So there, full build anti-Cuirass already for Kaloy.
Oh, 3mar checks in, spots the take on the orange, gets bullied out, catches that Deadly Magic, then comes Sean looking for that choke, and flickers out.
Okay, he flickers out. Sean also just... Oh!
Dear Lord! Placing the web by Owl, trying to protect himself, waiting for his allies. In comes Zyda. Shadow kill! Trying to take him down! Zyda with a shutdown! And that's a trade. 2 for 1, big win for TNC.
Yeah, a lot of cross-map trades there. TNC, they saw the vision in the orange buff, and then they decided to just jump in mid because they saw that it was a lot more presence at the top side. So 3mar getting the info and TNC executing. This is the synergy that we were looking for from TNC yesterday.
Okay, he doesn't have a retry just yet. They might come down to it. Oh, it's already used. Zyda gets the turtle. And they should just disengage from this, but the purple's up. I think they want to put pressure on this just like we saw on the last one.
Zyda hit that clean with his katana. And again, after Turtle 2, they went in deep for the purple. Was it a successful shakedown? Yes, it is.
Yep.
I think TNC walk away with Grand Theft Purple.
Yeah, let's double check. Maybe we'll see MP. Yep, definitely stolen away.
Yeah. MP used it too early.
RWM underneath tier 1. Quick choke. Up on 1. Valkyrie's the stand. In comes Betty. Swiping away, and he catches the Deadly Magics. Looking for it. Crimson Beacon by Sean. Not enough damage. Betty's wailing away. Looking for that hit. And in comes Al. No, ult's here. And Betty blazing the wet to your face. Traded out for Lancy. Lansu, that is double kill for Zyda. Man is collecting stacks. And here comes TNC. Collapsing on a twist. They back up. There's the flicker. Lancy with the Void Crystal taking down Sean. And Al gets next. 3mar. serving up a kill. Kaloy, the only survivor.
The Phoenix has arisen and awoken. They are swinging things in their favor, just like that graph.
Decisive and ruthless, and most importantly, more in aligned with each other in terms of what they want to do. It didn't feel like the more desperate TNC that we saw yesterday, and even in the previous weeks, where it seems like you have two groups of TNC players trying to make plays in opposite sides of the map, not completely ready to go for the full 5. But so far, it has been clean for TNC. Twisted Minds have been able to counter through the Juice in, but when they got split up there, TNC pounced on that, and they realized, oh, they could get that win despite Benny getting taken down.
You gotta think about that. How much time? I know Benny ended up dying, but he bought a lot of time in that fight.
Yeah.
2v1.
Yeah, he pulled the Juice in and Claude away from the center of the map, which is where TNC decided to continue the jump on. So my earlier question of what kind of Khalid versus Juice in game that we're getting is it's a little bit it's here and there. It's like 50-50. It's not always a sure thing that the Juice in will make the Khalid's life difficult. Chakno has played a stellar game because he's sharing information duties with 3mar. Even Benny Cutie with his aggressive plays is getting information for the team that sets up Raging Sandstorms.
Oh no! Chakno catches all of
Should
that
be alive?
in the white brush. Yes, he lives! Quick sand guard into that brush as the turtle dance continues.
Yeah, he's going to be fine actually right now. They're fighting for this Lord at this point, but no one's got to commit to it. But there is, that's the flicker down now for Chakno. He doesn't have that. He's going to wait for the Raging Sandstorm most likely to come up. They don't really have to rush this either. And one thing they do also want to go ahead and take note of is Twisted is dealing with now a few stacks on this Hayabusa from Zyda, so they can't get a little overzealous and put two. Oh,
Flicker, final slash by Lansu, displacing Lancy, serving up a kill, real-time revision.
Flicker final slash too.
Little overzealous, go for it then.
Yeah,
They need it.
it worked out well.
20 seconds on the clock, they're going for the turtle. Kaloy just sweeping these brushes, Benny Cutie on him. Lord here at a third of its health, Chakno and 3mar checking range. Zyda holding on to that shadow and shadow kill. Kaloy playing footsies and tag, another final slash. They fight the mamba. Chakno's falling, shadow kill, fights Kaloy, down goes one, and the retribution is good. Zyda licks the blood of the Lord off his blade, but Sean shuts him down, gets the double. Now Benny wailing away, gets taken down by Sean. One more time as Owl is taken down. Huge 3 for 3, but the Lord goes to Twisted.
Okay, Sean's not going to be able to get the Maniac, but he does get 3 stacks on his Sky Piercer. Benny Cutie was able to zone out MP the King from that Lord Retribution timing as the Freya decided to jump straight to the back. Now TNC has their Lord marching up top, but their positioning, they need to have a slight readjustment because Lansu is not shy to commit those final slashes when he sees the angle. Twisted Minds are doing their best to stop the charge, and they will be able to stop the charge of the Lord in mid. MP the King decided to rush to the Divine Glaive, knowing that with these, with the Uranus, with the Khalid up in its face, he needs the magic penetration right away.
He's got it. The fight is there on both sides from what we're seeing. It's just really who comes down to utilizing what ultimates or even the battle spells that they have. Lansu has been so on point with these final slashes, though, that sometimes gives Twisted a little bit of the upper hand. I'm just so surprised. They really need to win an objective retribution. I mean, you look at across the board there, 0-0-0. They've got no turrets, no turtles, no lords.
Nothing.
That has to change if Twisted Minds wants to turn this game in their favor and win it.
Yeah, and the thing I've noticed about this Eve pick here by Lancy is that they're not able to maximize a lot of the real-world manipulations. However, the value coming out of the star field of the Eve is Twisted Minds getting forced to use their dashes to get out of it, forced to reposition, which makes things just a little bit more uncomfortable to them. But then when you have, again, going up against the Juicin with a reposition of the Crimson Beacon, and the fact that her ultimate means that if she gets closer to you with her trying to reposition, that's actually bad for you because there's a risk, again, that the whole team is going to get lifted up, which is why I was a bit here and there about the Eve. But still, Lancy's getting value out of it, just not the max value you want out of that hero.
Yeah, and this is one of the things, too, with the lineup now. At this point, you know, even though Twisted is down, and this is why you see TNC approaching these objectives the way they are, because given the fact that now this is the the power spike for Twisted's lineup. You see that, right? Trinity's already locked in for Owl.
Yeah.
He's trying to get a little bit more defense here, Wind of Nature when it pops up, but Sean is getting stacked up, and that's also something why Renmar has mentioned, even with the Jushin, you've really got to be on point with this. And so TNC has made the right choices of approaching the fights the way they have. And sometimes it could be Chaknu, as we see on the screen, to start a fight up if he wants to, like we've seen him attempt to around some of the purple buff steals and everything else. But it more likely is going to be Lansu with a final slash when we get to this next Lord here in about 10 seconds. Oh, speaking up.
Final slash on the 3-mar. 3-mar about to get choked up and rams through it.
Counterpunch.
RWM, this TNC finds one. Sean forcing that Crimson Beacon. Shadow kill early. Pull on by Zyda. And
Owl.
in a while. It might be an orange taken at the back line. Oh, firing away at Chaknu. Quick sand guard, no dice.
Yeah, and it looks like the orange buff was taken away just having up with the... Oh, wait, no, there it is. Okay, so it still ended up with Owl there in the end. Surprise fight. I was surprised that Lancy decided to commit the RWM there. They won't have the Starfield up for this Lord, but I think after all the resources Twisted Minds used, TNC, are they gonna... Oh, they decide to slow it down because even they don't want to go for the full blitz.
They can't because they know. I mean, everything on both sides was pretty much thrown at each other and no one were going down. So ultimately a reset. Blade armor picked up now.
Yeah, massive.
By 3-mar.
Massive pickup for this Uranus.
TNC's meat shields are just too big. RWM catches Kaloy and Sean at the tail end. In comes another attempt by Zyda. Lets it go. Shadow out. Twisted Minds, this is a deadly dance.
This is a whole lot being thrown. Still, it's both sides just throwing what they have at each other.
Yeah, and now Twisted Minds can play aggressive for this Lord. They still have to mark Zyda. Lancy will still be able to deal damage. They're trying to drag this out as long as possible because of the Starfield of Lancy. They're just waiting for the RWM. Good position, by the way, by Chaknu and Benny QT. Great flank angle, but I think Twisted Minds acknowledged that and decided to hold the mid bush. Also because they want to threaten the push of the minion waves in mid because they still don't have a tower taken down in mid.
This
or
is
anywhere.
tough for Owl. He does not have a flicker. So if he gets jumped on, he's dead. The blitz by Twisted. Who's going to take it? In comes the Retribution and the Raging Sandstorm. Crimson Beacon already used up. RWM defensively used, trying to keep Kaloy down. Kaloy might have to face the wrath of TNC. No one gets punished. Twisted Minds with their first big objective.
I said they needed to get some objectives. Well, they finally got one, and that was a crucial one to win out for them, to turn this map towards their favor. It was, again, one of those things where Chaknu had an idea, but once that fight started up, the rest of the team was just a little bit too far away to even counter fight once the Lord was already secured.
Yeah, and you can see the hesitation from TNC considering that Sean Skypiercer is a 4-stack right now. They know that they have to get the good perfect dive, bring down that Jushin fast, and then they can go all in.
That Lord take was Blacklist brilliant. I think Bonchine was clapping in the back seeing that happen.
Yeah.
This reminds me of their takes from 2021, 2022 with no punishes at all.
Yeah, even there in the end, Lancy committed a final slash to help feed the potential kill onto Sean, which forced out a flicker, I believe, from 3-mar on a dash out.
Look at the angle by the Mamba. I think he's waiting for the rest of TNC to be ready. 3-mar gets bursted down.
Yeah,
massive approach here on the bottom. Chubby wave, mid as well. Twisted Minds have almost single-handedly won the map back.
Is he just going to wait there patiently? Is he still going to try to make a play here towards the answer? No, it looks like it's just information. So information given, granted for the team. They clear out the Lord. That's going to be fine. A little bit of that damage from the push up top, though, did do some damage to the base turret of Twisted. So TNC doesn't come out completely with nothing out of that exchange.
Yeah, and I think the signal that Chaknu was waiting for when he was holding that bush in mid was if 3-mar stayed healthy, he probably would try to get a flank. But with the Uranus getting brought low, that was already an advantage lost. So they decided to play it safe. Now it's... Again, my hope after TNC's loss to Falcons yesterday is I hope their late game woes with watching the minions and playing through minion wave pushes won't come back to haunt them. So let's see if they've got to improve that real quickly. Ben Cutie said earlier, they kept things simple, but hopefully it's a simple idea of, hey, if you have the minion advantage, you don't need to force anything. Just look for that one pick, don't dive too deep, you have the minion wave advantage.
Sadly, they don't now. Sadly, the map has become equal. So I think they just have to win more fights. Just pick better fights.
Yeah. And that's what's happening is like, that's why I'm saying they've both been throwing everything at each other. And just the vision provided by both roamers is what is going to make that difference for either team that's able to get that upper hand here. So MP picks up his buff. We'll get a Holy Crystal now too. you've seen a lot of the deadly magics as well have mostly gone towards 3mar just because 3mar is pretty much up front. And so he's soaking those up. I'm just wondering if there's a way when the Lord comes up where, you know, MP is actually to play a threat on someone else. But even if you look at this, it's not like he's going to touch Zyda. Zyda is pretty much just unseen until he needs to be there.
Yeah.
This is also an evolved Lord, so like we saw from the previous one, it's going to be a very slow fight for space around this while they keep 3mar up front.
They see the Freya down bottom. They saw Chapman as well, if I'm not mistaken. Twisted Minds know they're trying to force a reaction out of TNC.
Okay. He's going to swing around.
He's crossing and spotted by MP. This is not a safe take, so they have to let go of the Lord. That gets reset. Benny Cutie threatening the penetration here. And there's not much to answer. They do send 2 over, so they're fine.
Oh, Owl.
Oh, that's the damage on Owl, yeah.
A lot of damage by that Uranus. That's going to be the continuous threat of the Freya down bottom.
They can just do this. I mean, this is, I know it's a different hero for Benny Cutie, but it's still the same player. You know,
It's
he's done
in
this on
his DNA.
Quad. Yeah, it's built into him, and so that's the plan. That's what they've done so many times.
Oh! Final flash! On to Zyda! How did that happen?
What?
Massive loss for Twisted! Caused by Twisted on TNC! No retry!
The Admiral stepping up for Twisted, but the map controlling Benny!
Benny catches Owl! Owl with the answer, the blazing duet and the wind champ! And Chaknu gets his immortality pop up to him by Lancey, trying to repair the situation as Kaloy dashes on through, dancing around. Down goes Chaknu. Sean finds him, Lancey falls. The Admiral gets a double. It's just 3 more left. Ships ahoy as they sail forth.
A lot of respawn timers. 3mar trying to get away from MP.
Oh, 3mar.
Minion waves in mid and they're trying to push. They're going for the end.
He cannot clear fast enough. Zyda is the next best defender. He's spawning after Twisted breaks through that turret in mid. I think the call for Twist is straight to the Lord we go.
They go for the Lord.
Lansu was brilliant. He vengeanced onto 3mar. And then whether it's sense or whether he knew positioning-wise, that's where Zyda would be. He got the final slash onto the Hayabusa. That was just terrific individual play by Lansu by using the front line in front of him to get into better position.
The patience that is Twisted right now, what they're showcasing here, gets themselves a Lord and ready to push towards the base of TNC. After taking down the mid-base turret already, they're in a prime position to go ahead and punch this one in. Zyda will get his purple buff, but they're going to have to buckle in for this one and get ready to defend because right now Twisted has control. They're locked in. You saw how much damage was just dealt out in an instant as well.
My goodness. And that isn't even Arlot with like a full damage item, man. He's mostly utility.
Yeah. It's the that's what I was saying. It's most likely going to be started up by Lansu.
He's a final slash machine.
He is. He's been landing them throughout the game. They've been pivotal in getting Twisted control of this game at this point. So they'll go ahead and walk in with this Evolved Lord again at the 21-minute mark. Getting closer to the base turrets here as that's going to be in mid. So they're going to go for this push down bot. Lansu does have an immortality as well, so he can be a little reckless if he wants to try to set this up and force a fight into the base, and they're going to go just for it.
Twisted are in. That turret down bottom is going to fall. The choke up on the 3mar. Gets the immortality pop. Up the BM dropped in by Lancey. And 3mar has to get on out of there. Lord getting taken care of. In comes Chaknu with a raging sandstorm. And a massive final slash. Bay! Dashing on out. It's not enough for him. A shot gets another stack. He is godlike. And in comes Zyda. Shadow kill on the 4. They're juggling him. They're juggling him. And now they have another wave down bottom. This is getting really difficult for TNC to defend.
They're so low. They're so low. They're going to have to fight it out.
Oh no, could have been a punish as Lansu gets the immortality pop.
Again!
Flicker repositioning. Down goes Lancey. And Twisted Minds are relentless. They trade off of Lancey for Lansu. But with that, I think Twisted call it quits.
Oh man, 2 teams at the bottom of the standings doing everything they can to win. They are fighting it out. Lansu, I thought that final slash would be it, but Zyda's damage is definitely online. But the biggest problem for TNC is that is a 70-stack Juicing Skypiercer on Sean.
This ship has too many holes. They cannot clog them up fast enough. 4K up. Shadow kill by Zyda trying to fight out. The wind champ keeps him alive.
And 3mar is still going to go ahead and just walk them out of the jungle here. I'm so surprised. But yeah, that's going to be a Wind of Nature down. Owl switches in for the Rose Gold. But man, okay, they got the base turrets. But that could have been cleaner. Lord is up now, and some crucial item cooldowns are going to be taking into play here for this one.
Yeah.
He does switch over. He's got the
gun.
He's got the gun. He's got the Malefic gun and the immortality
he
now.
juggled for the chant.
Yeah, he juggled it around.
One item pickup here that I really appreciate is Sean actually building the Clock of Destiny, which is why it's difficult to take this Juicing down. That's also a Juicing with Blood Wings too.
And a Brute.
And a Brute now. And a Brute. What?
Yeah, he's tanky. Sean wants to get the stacks off.
He sold Clock.
RWM catches Sean, forcing that Crimson Beacon back. Chaknu does not allow himself to get choked up. And Zaida looking for that angle over on the flank. Oh, it looks like we got the reset.
Yeah, they're going to go for a reset again here. This is, they want that beacon to be up. TNC also wants these ultimates back up as well. There isn't the flicker now for Chaknu, though.
Yeah, Twisted Minds doesn't need to force anything. TNC has to respond to the minion waves crashing in through the side lanes. They try to get Lancy down, but he's only going to be able to take just a bit of damage and still survive through it. Still minion waves a little bit deep in the bottom lane. Twisted Minds are going to be playing through that. They don't want to force anything with minion wave advantage.
Yeah, they're going to have to hold this together.
Look at that. That's a lot of minions, man. Someone in TNC needs to go back and deal with it.
They're eventually going to have to deal with this bottom wave here. Lord's at half health right now. They might choose to fight. 3
Deadly
mark.
Magics onto the big chunky Uranus.
The wave and bot.
That's way too
Brandon's
much.
have to defend. Even in mid, it's getting really bad. Lord here at a quarter of its health. Chaknu and Zaida, they're aware. 3mar as well. Forcing out a shadow. In comes Sean with that Crimson Beacon. And the TNC will have...
All right, let's catch up here. They do... Did they get the Lord?
Zaida's back.
I believe they got the Lord.
Get it back.
It's untwisted. It's untwisted.
Three Lords.
Got it,
Still a lot of minions.
So they... Basically what it chalks up to is TNC on the defense here against a major push. Lansu and Owl both picking up defensive items that they really need to go ahead and solidify this. Lansu gets to win a crown. Expect him to make some fancy moves here, and Owl will pick up the Wind of Nature now.
During the break, I think Lansu popped his flicker.
Yeah.
I think there was an attempt to engage.
To try to make something happen.
Or single-handedly.
Whoa,
My
Zaida.
Lord Owl here! Answer to the Blazing Duet, wind check off the Shadow
the
Kill.
juke.
And massive range by Zaida. And he's still buying time. He's going 2v1.
They're still going.
They need to defend in mid, and Zaida here gets taken down by the duo. The tag team up top. They're one man down for the defense. The RWM by Lancy swiping away at the minions and at the waves and at the Lord. And they're trying their darndest. They need all their members, but fortunately they lost Zaida. Now goes 3mar. 3 defenders left. Twisted Minds, they know that the win is just around the corner. Benny Cutie gets outranged and hit with a vengeance. The double for Sean. Twisted Minds take game 1.
Twisted, the Lord that they ended up winning through the help of MP, the heroics of Lansu, wipe away the lead that TNC had. Another heartbreaking loss, but you can chalk that up